What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, this is a follow-up video to the video that I posted yesterday. And I was talking about the lack of megastars in NBA basketball. And so when I talked about that, quite a few of you all were blaming the NBA. It's the NBA's fault. They don't market these players well enough. It's the NBA's fault. And, a lot of y'all LeBron James haters. Y'all, they talking about LeBron too much. They talking about LeBron too much. Some of y'all said they too focused on LeBron and KD and the older stars. And then some of y'all it's just LeBron. They want to talk about LeBron. Y'all know why they keep talking about LeBron James? Because he moves the needle for NBA basketball. He is a polarizing figure. He's going to draw in the biggest audience. He is the biggest draw still. A lot of you all don't like it. Y'all hate it. Y'all want to cry in the corner about it. That's why ESPN still talks about them. Y'all don't like it, but he moves the needle. He's polarizing like Floyd Mayweather. People paid to see Floyd Mayweather get knocked out and lose. They hated him. He was only thing being talked about in boxing for real. I mean, Manny was too, but you know what I mean? Floyd was the biggest draw in boxing. People hated him. They tired of talking about, listen, he moves the needle, right? LeBron James, Steph Curry, KD, they still talking about them because they are still the biggest megastars. Look at the reaction to the Olympic basketball, to the Olympic basketball play this past year. We haven't seen that type of fanfare around Olympic basketball since God knows when, right? Since LeBron and them was playing in it for real, right? We had LeBron, KD, and Steph all at the arena, and we were in awe. We were captivated by seeing the stars of this generation. Now that they are becoming old men, they become old men now. LeBron James almost 40 years old, right? These gray-haired dudes almost getting great. LeBron got great, but Steph and them probably gonna get their grade soon. The old guys still are the most galvanizing. They are the most electric. They are the biggest stars that bring in the fanfare still. For real. And I know, I'm not saying that other players aren't good. Jason Tatum and them they are exceptional basketball players. They don't have that it factor that LeBron James, Steph Curry and them have. Y'all like, it's the NBA fault. It's the NBA fault. Man, listen. The NFL didn't have to really market Prime for real. Prime was marketable from the jump. He made them market him. They didn't have to come up with these campaigns. What I'm trying to say is I misspoke. They didn't have to come up with campaigns to sell Prime to the audience for real. Prime was the campaign. When he got drafted, he oozed charisma on your TV screen. He was a megastar. For real, where they didn't have to, we got to come up with the perfect package to sell him to the crowd. No, he sold himself. Shaquille O'Neal sold himself to the audience. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, yeah, he had Spike Lee and the commercials and all of that. But man, you seen that Kango hat with them hoop earrings, man? Even when he was young with the gold chains on his neck, jumping through the air, flying through the sky. You hear me? His swagger, he exemplified like he was larger than life. For real, to where it wasn't hard for them to try to sell Mike to them. Oh, we got to make them believe Mike is the one. They knew it from his play and his aura. You feel me? Allen Iverson, they didn't have to come up with this perfect package. Let's try to see if we can get the audience behind them. No. Allen Iverson, man, I don't even know. What's Allen's middle name? Is it Ezell? What's Allen Iverson's middle name? I want to call him Ezell, but Allen Iverson... He embodied street culture, but he still had decorum. He had tact to where people in other neighborhoods that didn't even come from street environments wanted to get close to him, wanted to talk to him, wanted to just take a picture with him, wanted an autograph. They wanted to be in his presence because even though he embodied street culture, he was still chill, cool, calm, and collected. He was a cool, smooth dude. You feel me? He wasn't walking around looking like he about to throw up GD every 2 minutes like Ja Morant be looking like he about to do. Ja Morant looked like he can't wait to throw up gang signs. He looked like he ready to pull a pole out his pants, out his shorts. Like he gonna pull when I say pole, that's another word for a firearm in Chicago. Ja Morant looked like he ready to gang bang every time, even on the court. It's like, you gotta and it's good to have that fire on the court, but something about Ja is not gonna connect to the older audience as well. Older, like casuals all around. Now the younger audience gonna vibe with them because younger audience like that street shit. They like that street bravado. You know what I'm saying? The girls like how he look. But you need a lot of different audience rocking and rooting for you. LeBron James had the youth, the older generation, the grandmamas, the mamas, the aunties, especially when he married Savannah, the young 18-year-old kid from a single mother household in the projects of Akron, Ohio. Oh, he had everybody, man, they didn't have to develop a campaign and sell Bron to the public. He was the one. He was him, the chosen one. They called him King James. Y'all think he made that nickname up. The magazines called him that because his aura was that. They went to them games. Jay Billis and them went to them games and said, man, this dude supposed to be playing in the league in his junior year of high school. He's something we ain't never seen since Lou Alcindor. You know, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's previous name. They didn't have to, we got to see if we can sell him to the public. No, LeBron sold to the public. He was box office. When you see him walking with Rich Paul and the whole St. Vincent St. Mary team, Drew Joyce now, after Nike cut that $90 million check, why you think Nike cut that much money on him? Because they knew what they had. They knew he was that one. It wasn't no, let's hope we can sell him. No. His charisma and Bron was from the hood. He wasn't street. I mean, he wasn't trying to be street like he, you know, and that's another thing. That's why Ant-Man, as great as Ant and Ja are, they got to tone it down a little bit. And again, it sounds like I'm preaching respectability politics, but it's just a certain way of decorum and a certain tact with everything. Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, he keep hollering out the N-word in front of white folks. I was raised by older gentlemen. I don't like young black men hollering out the N-word all around white people. Ant do that all the time. I done heard him say the N-word about 5 times in front of white folks on camera. Several instances. I'm like, he got to calm down. You can't market a dude that keep hollering out the N-word every time the camera on him, on TV. He don't care about nothing. And some of y'all like, I like that don't care attitude. Well, that's not, but again, you can't reach certain audiences like that. You can be swag. You can be full of swagger. Prime ain't even curse. Prime ain't curse. His still swagger and bravado was off the charts. You couldn't deny it, you know? So it's a certain way. Allen Iverson, as street as he wasn't in interviews hollering out the N-word all the time in front of white folks. He wasn't cussing every time you see him talking. And again, he embodied the streets. He was that. He was of the fray, not above it. And he still was able to get people, you didn't have to develop no campaign around him. He was it. You know what I mean? And even as good as all these players are, they ain't, man, Steph Curry. People young, old, and in between come watch Steph on his shooting exhibits to see him put on a shooting display we ain't never seen on the court, right? And you didn't have to. Let's see if we can sell Steph to the crowd. Steph sold to the audience. So all that, it's the NBA fault? No, these young shorties, a lot of them don't have that je ne sais quoi, that aura. Giannis Antetokounmpo is my favorite player after LeBron James. LeBron James, number 1, my first favorite player. Second is Giannis Antetokounmpo. As great as Giannis is, he doesn't have that American aura to get the audience captive, to get casuals captivated by them. You got some men in my comments talking about, who cares if your grandmama know Giannis and them. Yo, a sport is only going to get as big as its casual fans, dog. Mike Tyson, when he was in boxing, he got casual fans locked in. You got people that don't know a thing about boxing that watch Mike Tyson as almost 60 years old on Netflix. Boxing and had all these champions in the world. It's only like 4 or 5 boxers that people remember. They know Muhammad Ali. They know Mike Tyson. You feel me? Like, they really know George Foreman more for selling grills, and Big George was the man. You hear me? But like, yeah, like, it's certain dudes, man, they got that aura about them that you cannot deny. The younger dudes, they don't have that aura. And again, not yet. I'm not saying they can't get there, but you didn't have to teach that to Shaquille O'Neal. You didn't have to teach that to LeBron James. You didn't have to teach that to Allen Iverson. You didn't have to develop this game plan around Michael Jordan to really sell him. They sold themselves. You didn't have to do that with Prime. And Prime was an individual star, like a mega star in a sport where the NFL, first of all, in the NFL, franchises move the needle more than the stars, for real. Franchises, People will watch the Green Bay Packers or the Dallas Cowboys if I'm quarterbacking or one of y'all quarterbacking, because the franchises is what they market their league based upon the franchises. The NBA markets their league based upon individual superstar talent, and it's been that way for the longest of time. You feel me? So yeah, y'all, it's the NBA. It's the NBA fault, man. The young dudes ain't got that type of aura. And again, I know I'm not trying to display xenophobia when I say this. You need an American. The NBA is only going. The NBA is only going to go as far as its American megastar. We ain't as great as we have. We've had great, outstanding international players in the NBA. None of them been the face of the league. None of them. Not Hakeem. Not Dirk. Not Tim Duncan. We ain't had none of them been the face of Giannis. Ain't been the face of the league. None of them. I hate to say it, it's a certain American swagger, je ne sais quoi, that needs to be available. Wemby don't even got that. As great as he is, as talented as he is, for right now, I don't see the young casual fans wanting to just see what Wemby gonna do. Not yet, at least, right? Now LaMelo, he too off the chain, ready to cuss everybody. Like, you gotta cool out too, LaMelo. And y'all be like, man, these young kids. Hey man, listen. So you gotta dial it back a little bit. If he had a persona like Zoe, a little bit, Lonzo, he'd have been in a good spot, because that whole watching him on the internet show and watching him on the internet show with his brothers, they had him in another realm. But still, it ain't equating to megastar. They thought Zion was supposed to be the next one, but Zion get hurt way too much, and he like playing with the porn stars, running around with the freaks, and he don't be in shape like that. So he was supposed to be marketed as the next one to take the torch from LeBron, but it didn't happen. Who else? Nikola Jokic. As great as Jokic is, he plays a boring style of basketball. A casual fan don't want to see this passing, hooks. No, they want to see dudes dunking on dudes, crossing dudes over. His game is not flashy. It's great. It's fundamentally sound. It's for a basketball purist like myself. We love it, but the casual fan's not lining up to watch Jokic unless you live in Denver or unless you live in Colorado. Let's be for real, dog. You know what I'm saying? Luka, he got a street ball type appeal, but again, also, they're from overseas, so it's kind of hard for certain people to just connect to them in that certain way, even though he got a street ball type of appeal, but he not super athletic either, you know what I mean? So a lot of these dudes, Jason Tatum, people still wondering, was he the best player on his team, even though he is, but yeah, man, it ain't the NBA, it's the players, man.